We now have a routine that is especially fit for the morning after waking up, to truly wake up the whole body and fill yourself with fresh energy for a new day. The exercises are quite intense. A more advanced version will follow later, but for now we have this 15 minutes routine. It's easy to fit into your day with a huge effect on your functioning throughout the rest of the day. Keep in mind that this is a routine especially designed for the morning, to invigorate. If you practice this routine in the evening, there is the risk that you cannot sleep. If you practice in the evening, I would like to refer you to our other video that contains a routine for evening practice that will allow you to sleep properly immediately after practice is done. Try to practice in a quiet environment after waking up. Go to the toilet, maybe take a shower. Do not turn on any music or TV or any other, stay away from all distractions. Keep your mobile phone away. Practice in silence, concentrate. Enjoy the routine. Enjoy the video. We start with a handstand. Before we do that, this is the first exercise early in the morning. We warm up the arms and shoulders a little bit with upward dog, downward dog. And then we go into Adho Mukha Vrksasana, which is a handstand. You do it against the wall for stability. Eventually you try to get off the wall. Standing alone. Notice that we don't look at the floor for the sake of sattva, harmony. We try to stand as straight as possible. It is the inverted tree pose, and so that is how we do it. After the handstand, which you can do 2 or 3 times, you go to your mat. Take a little breath. And then we have Pinca Mayurasana, which is the standing peacock pose. Normally you go into the pose with a jump, swinging one leg up, but eventually building more and more strength, you can do it in a controlled way like you do in the headstand. It's more challenging, more peaceful. Never hold your breath in a pose when it's strenuous, especially. You can go to Vrksasana, which is a scorpion pose. If you feel the strength and balance, you can add that to Pinca Mayurasana. Stay down for a short moment, or sit on your knees, take a deep breath, let the energy dissipate a little. Then we have Mayurasana. Mayura is a peacock. Powerful pose in which you carry the entire weight on your hands with the elbows in the abdomen. If you spread the hands a little bit and keep the elbows together, you have a triangle that stays together under the force of your weight. Try to become totally horizontal. we have Vrksasana and Supta Virasana, that is the hero pose. And if you can sit comfortably on the floor in between the ankles, you can then add Supta Vira, which is the sleeping hero. Marvelous exercise that strengthens ankles, knees and hip joints. Regular practice makes this exercise a perfect way to prevent ankle and knee injuries, which are the most common injuries among sports people. Try to stretch up the spine. The spine will be hollow for sure. You can put a whole fist under it, but do not passively lie in the pose. Try to stretch up the spine so that it flattens a little bit. Breathe deep and calm. Out of the pose quietly. Take a little rest, let the energy dissipate, spread. Focus on the nice feeling that remains after the pose. Vrksasana is the frog pose. That is in fact an inverted Supta Virasana. It's quite a challenging pose that may not succeed immediately the first time you try. It's a very intense pose, can't stay too long without causing restlessness. Then we have Chaturanga Dandasana, which is the four-legged staff, a stick with 4 limbs. Do not push yourself up too high, try to remain flat, horizontal and straight as a stick. If you feel you have enough strength, you can then move a little bit forward, making it more intense. Take a little rest and a deep breath. And then we have Salabhasana, the locust. In the locust, you not only raise the legs, but you add enormous power through your arms, upper body, to also raise the hips off the floor. Very intense, marvelous exercise to build upper body strength and flexible spine. The more intense a pose, the longer you need to rest in between. Here we have a combination of poses. This is a variation of the tortoise, Kurmasana, the tortoise pose. You do it standing first. Try to get the shoulders behind the knees, the hands behind the back, if possible joined, and then you erect the legs. Try to stand straight completely. Out of the standing tortoise pose, we then go into Tittibhasana, which is the firefly. Balancing on the hands, the shoulders, the knees still close to the shoulders. You then straighten the legs completely. And from Tittibhasana we can then eventually go into the basic Kurmasana, the basic tortoise pose, which is flat on the floor. Again, put the knees up on the shoulders or as close to the shoulders as possible. Spread the arms, straighten the arms, and then stretch the heels forward strongly. Very intense pose. Marvelous exercise if you have built some strength already. Salambha Sarvangasana, the shoulder stand, and several variations also put together. If you're relatively comfortable with shoulder stand variations, you can add a marvelous exercise that is also a little bit challenging. If you do it correctly, support the back with the hands, lower the legs behind you, and then once the feet are on the floor, push the feet strongly into the ground, away from you, until they are completely straight, erect. Most of the weight is carried by the hands, and if the feet have a grip on the floor, you have a bridge. From Setubandha Sarvanga, which means building a bridge, we go through the shoulder stand and then into the plow pose. Halasana. In Halasana, we straighten the back, as opposed to passively bending the back as most people do. Straighten, push the heels up to push the buttocks up to the ceiling, erecting the spine. Try to stay in each variation for about a minute. If you have enough strength, after Halasana, bend the legs and bring the knees down to the chest. Then you end up in Karnapida. Karna is ear, so it implies that you bring your knees down to the ears, covering the ears, connecting with the shoulders, with the chest. Wonderful combination of exercises for building a healthy spine. Spine, which is the highway of the nerve system. It's very important to maintain good health of the spine. If after Karnapidasana still there is enough strength left, you can add another variation, Supta Konasana, which is an inverted angle. While still in Karnapidasana, you grab the big toes and then you spread the feet as wide as possible. When you're finished with whatever variation, always go back through the shoulder stand. This is also a variation of Salambha Sarvangasana called Niralambha Sarvangasana. This one also Niralambha Sarvanga 1. Slowly roll down the spine and come back. And deeply relax. Breathe deep and calm, relax the whole body, eyes closed. Feel that wonderful energy spreading throughout your being. Every routine, every yoga practice should contain at least 1 or 2 variations of the shoulder stand. The mother of all exercises. When you're finished, Clasp your fingers, stretch yourself out comfortably, and slowly come back. It's time to start your day. If you have time for some meditation, meditate. Fully invigorated, full of strength and energy. You can now start your day.